Man, do I love me some Resident Evil. As I said in my video professing my love for Code Veronica, you can expect quite a bit of Resident Evil on this channel, along with various other horror titles, big and small. I just gotta get around to them. Like I also said in my Code Veronica video, that was my first step into the wonderful world of survival horror. The remade version of the original Resident Evil was my second step. And holy shit, that's a pretty big second step. It really highlighted what a scared little bitch I was back then. Because I'm a big, strong man now. I bought a GameCube specifically for the remade Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 4, because it was an exclusive at the time. And 0. And 2. And 3. Because they were kind of hard to find at the time for the PlayStation, so I had to go with the GameCube versions. And Super Mario Sunshine. And Luigi's Mansion. That I still have and never really played for some reason. And Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which was my first Metal Gear Solid game. Huh. And even though at the time I didn't get it, I do now have Eternal Darkness. And I'll get around to it at some point. Code Veronica was pretty tense and scary. Still kind of is, especially if you've never played that or don't really care for horror games, because you get scared easy. But once you get used to that tense, tingly, tight feeling in your stomach and your sphincter, you eventually get used to the spooky, scary atmosphere and learn to roll with it. You gotta do a lot more than roll with it in the remake. This game is in an entirely different league compared to Code Veronica when it comes to spooky, scary shit. A big portion of that is because of how good this game fucking looked at the time. And still looks pretty fucking good. And most of that was possible through a little thing called pre-rendering, which, fun fact, apparently Code Veronica was the first one that didn't do that. That's also how Resident Evil 2 and 3 were able to look so good on the PlayStation. Did Silent Hill use pre-rendering? I don't know, and I'm not looking it up. I'll find out when I play it. Whenever the fuck that is. No, this is not a review. I'm just a guy with fond, spooky, scary memories. This game was ground zero for the entire Resident Evil series. Yes, it was. Not that one. Yes, I've played it. Yes, I'll talk about it eventually. But today is not that day. And that one probably will be a review because I've only played it once. Literally once. If that tells you anything at all. Plus, that one has an easy mode. At least I think it does. The HD version does. Why are we yelling, Tim? Because I'm fucking scared! This game kicks off that wonderful world of survival horror, and boy howdy, is it a doozy! The first choice you have to make is whether or not you like climbing mountains or hiking through mountains. Not sure what this had to do with zombies, but whatever. They're in the mountains, I guess. I thought at the time. Next, you pick your character between the iconic duo of Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. All you really need to know about this is Jill's is easier than Chris. By just a little bit. Like the thickness of a sandwich! Part of me just wanted to cover one character, and the other part of me wanted to talk about both. So, I'm gonna compromise. Since the bulk of my first experiences with this game were with Jill, I'm going to be covering... I'm gonna have to fart. It didn't shit my pants. Oops! Jesus Christ, Tim! Shut up! I had Mexican. Since the bulk of my first experience with this game was playing through Jill's game, I'll be doing that for this. However, I will be mentioning where things differ in an attempt to cover both sides of the story. The intro cinematic is the same regardless which character you pick. Dogs attack you, this poor man dies, Brad leaves you for dead, and then you head to that mansion. Now things differ. If you pick Jill, Barry and Wesker are present. If you picked Chris, Jill and Wesker are present. Everyone hears a gunshot, and Chris is sent by himself while Jill and Barry are sent together. Chris can go straight to the source of the gunshot, while Jill and Barry must stop and examine the bloodstain on the ground. Barry stops and examines the bloodstain on the ground. Chris eventually returns to the hall after finding the zombie to discover that Jill and Wesker are both missing. And Jill dropped her gun, so thank God, because Chris dropped his in the forest, apparently. However, when Jill returns to the dining room, the zombie follows her, and Barry is forced to shoot it 3 times with a gun that once you have it, it kills anything in 1 shot. But it takes 3 fucking times. And then you guys leave. And it gets up and walks out like it's Michael fucking Myers or something. I mean, to be fair, it is a zombie. But then they return to the hall to discover that Wesker's missing, and they must do a thorough search in order to find that he's not there. And then they split up. Because horror. And this is where the 2 games officially start. Chris needs small keys, and Jill can just unlock things. You know what? 1 second. Whenever I don the wizard's hat, you know it's serious time. No sillies. No, I haven't played the original RE in a very long time. That'll probably be its own thing too. And it's gonna show, because I'm not gonna be making any comparisons to the original, for the most part, because my memories are quite cloudy. And I refuse to look anything up and ruin my cloudy nostalgia memories. This is gonna be itchy. Why don't I look anything up beforehand? Because I'm trying to give you the most authentic recreation of my memories as I possibly can. And because I don't wanna. However, even though I haven't played it, this is why I love this first section so much of this fucking game. Everything about it is designed to subvert your expectations if you have played the original before coming to this one. Well, there's probably plenty of other examples, but I can only think of this first section of the game because, like I said, cloudy memories. And I can only really remember the first section of that game. So, assuming that's the case, that you have played only the original and not the remake, you'll notice 3 things right away. The creepy, and I mean fucking creepy, door under the main stairway in the main hall. This door on top of the staircase. And this door by where the first zombie is. More than likely, you'll be drawn to one of these 3 doors. The one under the staircase is locked and very scary. If you try the new door above the staircase, you'll be led to a graveyard, where eventually you'll hit a dead end in the form of a weird Cupid statue with a missing slot for what looks like an arrowhead of some kind. And several zombies if you play on different difficulties, which isn't a problem for me because I'm a little bitch. So after discovering you can't do much with either one of those doors, you'll probably go to the third and final new door and discover, bingo, a whole new world of nightmares. And this is where I remove the serious hat, because I don't remember anything else of the original game. So I'm not going to be making any more super serious comparisons at this time. And the hat's kind of hot and itchy. Also, this is where I turned the game off for about a week until I worked up the courage to finally play it again. In the daytime. When the sun's out. Because the bad things can't get me when the sun's out. But once I picked this game up, after that brief period of hiatus bitchery, I got substantially further. As then I beat the damn thing. Get back to the fucking game, Tim! But then you ascend to those lovely, lovely stairs into the infamous murder hall, which is substantially less murdery if you prefer hiking. You get the green arrowhead, you stick it in the Cupid statue, you descend a very long staircase to get a book that gives you a key to open doors. If you push this dresser off to the side and go back in this creepy-ass hallway, you get your first defense item, which you immediately use on the world's stealthiest zombie. This part was pretty helpful the first time you played the game, and terrifying. Make sure you push that dresser back. Through this next door is another infamous hallway, with a spooky scary jump scare and some hidden items. It's a weird fucking angle. But you use the lockpick, you get some fertilizer, some doggies taunt you, and then it's time for a potty break. Honestly, this little clip in the bathroom with Jill really builds character because it shows that she's fucking human. She goes over to the toilet, she vomits after she kills the zombie, and you start at the toilet. Also, I think this is the only bathroom in the entire mansion. Fuck. Speaking of builds character. Back to the scares! In this save room, you get the fuel canteen along with the fuel canister. And if you weren't convinced that this game's different than the original yet, then I'm sorry. You're an idiot. Also, that whole last hallway is a lot harder for Chris because he's not smart enough to smash that zombie's head. He has to go in that bathroom to get the key to unlock that little door. He can't get the shotgun just yet, so he has to come back to this fucking hellhole. He doesn't have very many pockets, so there's a good chance you probably don't have room to get that fucking fertilizer. But that's okay, because he has a lighter. Why does he have a lighter? Because he smokes, Tim. Yes. But that also means he only needs the canteen to burn zombies. Jill has to carry the lighter and the canteen. Whee! Explain. You got off track and forgot. I didn't forget. I made the joke about people being idiots. True. But that wasn't very nice, Tim. Back up. If you decapitate the zombies by sheer coincidence with the handgun, which, by the way, feels fucking amazing when you do that, or with the shotgun, you don't need to worry about burning them. However, if you just shoot them and they fall down, and the pool of blood comes out, you need to burn them. Seriously, you need to burn them. Or, zombies come back as Crimson Heads. You'll see it when we get there. Upstairs, where Jill finds the lighter, you also get a dog whistle. Why is there a dog whistle, you ask? Because that's why. God damn it, that feels good. Not today, son! Now that we have this fake key from the dog collar, we can go up to the attic in Indiana Jones to get this other key that we need to open more doors. On your way back through that new hallway, there's crows in there now. And that zombie that was there in the corner isn't there anymore. Isn't that wonderful? There's this whole optional part where you can use the sword key for the final time on this basement door. Well, it's not really optional. You kind of have to unlock it. I think. No, you don't. Chris needs it because there's a small key down there. Do you have to unlock it? No, you can just use the elevator. Yay, more scary stuff. Whee! Now we can open some more doors with our new fancy key. The first one is of this creepy ass hallway with this even creepier bedroom. I'm sure that's nothing. And there's this awesome journal on the table. You could say it's infamous. Really fucking creepy. It's really spooky. It's pretty scary. It's about a man who's been bitten and slowly turning into a zombie. Itchy tasty. Oh yay! The closet opened up. I'm so excited. Back down the creepy ass hallway. You need to go down to this garden room and you can see the silhouettes of zombies banging on the doors outside. The windows. I'm sure they'll stay right there. Drop the malt stuff in the water and make sure you turn it to red. And then you can get the death mask. Which one is it? And oh my god, the zombies break in when you walk back outside. Yay! Did you know you could burn 2 of them at the same time? You can. Now, let's go get a big scary gun from our comrade Forrest. Don't take his herbs, or else you'll make him really mad. Oh God, Richard! This is where Chris meets Rebecca Chambers. Either way, you gotta backtrack all the way back to this fancy ass save room to get some special serum because Richard's been bitten by a snake. A completely normal snake. Snakes are scary. Normal snakes are scary. There's no reason for it not to be a normal snake. Make sure you push over this statue to get the blue gem so you can get the good ending. This section is timed, by the way. It's like 3 minutes or some shit. I don't know. If you fuck up, Richard's dead. And you don't get a shotgun. After Brad is safe, you get a piece of sheet music from a dank, dark attic room. Make a pit stop by this armor room and do this neat little puzzle. I'm not sure what happens if you fuck it up. Probably gas or something. But then make a quick pit stop down by this save room to see that Barry left me some goodies. I like goodies. Why would he do that? Because he's a good guy. He's totally not going to betray you or anything silly like that. That would be stupid. God! Speaking of Barry, this room is also technically optional. Optional if you don't want the Magnum. Fool! On the way back to the lounge, I always make sure to pick up the shield, and the little blue gem is Jill because she's got lots of pockets. And then I make a quick pit stop by the tiger head to get the MO disc. Or shotgun shells. Is that one shotgun? Oh my god, I think I fucked up! But this is where Jill gets to show off another one of her many talents, as she's an expert piano player. And Chris is a bumbling idiot who needs Rebecca to play the piano. Fool! You replace the wooden shield with the golden shield, and it unlocks a mechanism for a simple yet very gruesome clock puzzle that yields a key that has one use, and that's to open the attic. Attic. More like Chamber of Secrets. B, for the love of Christ, don't start with the Harry Potter shit, please. Please. But yawn is literally a basilisk. What the fuck do you want me to do? Say nothing? The first thing I thought when I saw this fucking snake was how the fuck did Richard survive getting bit by this thing? Considering he gets swallowed immediately if he plays Jill. But thank God he drops his shotgun. Now that we have this mask, all we need is one more quick little puzzle and use this key for the final time for the final mask. Ew! But after you kill that bastard, you get his umbrella-shaped rock, and you can get the fuck out of here.
Somebody respond! Over!
Barry?
Monster! Chains! Gun! Ineffective! It's it! Stay away! Forest outside mansion! Stay! Hey!
I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah, you'll be fine. Don't forget to pick up this giant fucking handgun from this gravestone. Seriously, look at this shack. Look at it! If you've seen my Code Veronica video, you'll remember that I said eventually I hit the point where it still scared me. But I embraced the fear and was able to power through everything. This was that part. In fact, I found in pretty much every horror game that eventually there's a spot that you hit that just breaks you, and you don't care about being scared anymore. You just shit your pants and move on. Jill gets smacked in the head really fucking hard, but luckily it's only a little bit of brain damage and she can get the fuck out of there before she gets fucking massacred or ripped apart or whatever the fuck this thing does. There's a zombie in the woods now. And your radio doesn't work, so that's wonderful. After a quick stroll through a dog park, you arrive at the guardhouse. Woo! Jill overhears Barry talking to himself, and there's sharks and a giant killer plant. This fucking place is a goddamn nightmare. And just for the record, at no point was I like, why the fuck do they have sharks here? Because that's not the sort of question you should be asking in a game like this. I'd rather ask, why no sharks? Or giant killer plants? Or weird human lizard hybrids? If you do this extra little puzzle in the guardhouse with all the... you can unlock this chemistry lab and make the Plant 42 fight a hell of a lot easier. Yay, science! If you play as Chris, the Aqua Ring is where Brad dies. He sacrifices himself to save his comrade and friend. You get to drain the water and electrocute the fuck out of this big giant mammoth guy. Shark. Sorry. I had to take allergy medicine. But I'm gonna get through this! So the whole reason you came to this guardhouse was to get the final key to the final set of locked doors in the mansion. And after a conversation with Wesker, who tells you to go back to said mansion and open said doors, you do just that. Fuck, there's real snakes too!
Ah, yes, hunters. I need to learn how to make these.
Well, Vildmart, if you do figure out how to make them, you need to figure out that whole weakness to acid thing, because they really hate those. First door we unlock with our fancy new key is this room upstairs above this safe room. And it's another iconic form of death trap in the form of squishy walls. But we can avoid this by a well-placed statue, because we have to avoid this with that well-placed statue. A wall slides up to reveal a secret area and a gravestone, which is the final resting place of George Trevor. He's the architect of the mansion, and the father of this lovely little girl. I don't want to go into detail about every little journal entry, because one, it's a lot better if you experience it on your own, and two, I can't read. Spiders! You kill some zombies in the basement, you don't get electrocuted by turning the power back onto this elevator that you probably didn't even know was there, and it's away to this room, and you wind up here. This game has some really good level design. It's time to finish off this dirty son of a bitch once and for all. Thank God he smashes this bookcase just before he dies, or our duo may have never gotten out of this fucking place. Next, we're off to this taxidermy room to get these shiny gems. And another neat note. And you're gonna read yourself because you're gonna go play this game because it's good. Ugh. It's scary. And then it's off to the tiger room to get the MO Jesus Christ. The final door is a bit tricky-dicky. Because I always forget it's there. You get a satisfying puzzle box that you get to solve. You murder this zombie. And then you get an umbrella key that goes to this room on the other side of the mansion. That's why I told you to put that dresser there. This is another spot where the games differ. Jill can just do this section, no problem. Chris, on the other hand, has to go save Rebecca from a hunter. This is also timed. I'm not sure how long it takes, but it's not long. In this room, we get another umbrella symbol, but this one's missing that big stone part around the outside. Around the outside. Around the outside. That's okay, because we got a car battery. You need the battery to operate an elevator that you use to get around the water lowering part, because it moves a waterfall that's down there to reveal a secret entrance. There's a conspiracy going round here. Seriously, I can't be the only person who's wondering how some of these people got to where they were. How did Enrico figure out someone's a traitor? How did he get there? Did Wesker already confront him? Injure him? So he ran through the waterfall as some sort of last desperate attempt to get away from the traitor that he's now revealed? Most of this is just a distraction, so I don't have to talk about Black Tiger because I don't like spiders. This is another puzzle that just feels really good when you finally satisfy it. You just crank the thing and the statue comes out. Barry, you son of a bitch! Barry leaves you for dead in these tunnels with Lisa Trevor, which is just a terrible experience. But with a little determination, you make it out of there alive. And eventually, you make your way to her secret lair, where you find this really disturbing note about how she wants to find her mommy's face. That's adorable. And then you find that stone you need to unlock that spooky, scary door under the stairs. Barry, you son of a bitch! Yes, you could take his gun, and it's fucking awesome. But if you want the good ending, you don't take his gun. Plus, I feel Jill is probably a pretty forgiving person. Now, you don't actually have to fight her in the traditional sense, but you can, if you really want to. You can shoot her and eventually she'll fall off, but that's a pretty big waste of ammo. Well, that's nice. She finally got to see her mother again. Wonderful. Now, it's time for my favorite part of the game. The lab. Tim, I just thought of something. Yes, V. Where the fuck do these people go to the bathroom? What? There's no toilets in the laboratory. They have several in the guardhouse. But like you said before, there's only one in the mansion. Yes. Don't tell me that's not important. Are you telling me they have to backtrack every time to the guardhouse or the mansion every time they need to take a fat shit? I guess so. Anyway, there's all kinds of neat science shit everywhere. All the zombies are either naked or in lab coats. There's these fucking things. Chimeras. There's this neat little slideshow upstairs. You need to get a code where you get to see the names of all the monsters finally, and now, you're gonna want to make sure you kill everything in this hallway and this little section right here, because the next part could result in instant death. You have to carry a fuel container, that fuel being nitroglycerin. So you're supposed to just walk, you can't shoot any guns, or you can't get attacked, or everything just fucking explodes. Also, make sure you put all the ammo discs in the game cubes, because if you don't, you can't get the good ending. After you do all that, you're free to turn the power back on and meet at the elevator. If you're Chris, you meet Rebecca. If you're Jill, you meet that traitorous asshole Barry. Who's not a traitor anymore. Because we know who the traitor is. It's Wesker.
You killed them with your own dirty hands. You son of a bitch! No. Rebecca!
Don't move.
Not Rebecca! I like Wesker. Me too. So he gets impaled. Hell, sometimes he just gets bitch slapped across the fucking room. Either way, you're left to defend yourself against this giant infant. But he's not that hard. Yet. Make sure you save Chris or Jill. Don't forget, because this is the end of the game. You finally get in touch with Brad, who tells you need to get the fuck to the helipad because he's gonna get the fuck out of here. So you gotta hurry up. You fools! There is no time! Thank God there's some flares out here. You reunite with your teammates, and then you hail the helicopter, and then nothing bad happens. Oh, shit! He's mad! Be careful here, because he hits like a fucking truck. If you're smooth enough, you can run right past his normal arm, and he'll miss you entirely. If I did that, I'll show you a clip of it. If I didn't do that, then I'll show you a clip of me getting hit like a truck. Eventually, Brad drops the rocket launcher. Sometimes the tyrant will just swat it away, and trust me, if you didn't know he could do that, and this is your first time beating this game, and you get down to the wire like I did, and he bitch slaps the rocket, you're like, oh my god, I'm fucked. But then you just shoot another one immediately, and he comically explodes. Everyone makes it out okay. Chris and Jill are all lovey-dovey. Barry's checking his gun. Pretty sure Rebecca's asleep, and you fly off into the sunset for a well-earned rest. Then you're treated to a surprisingly effective and very charming credit sequence with some good fucking music. Then the game tells you what a piece of shit you are! In conclusion, this is one of those very few games that actually earns the title of masterpiece. Or damn close to it. Judging this or any other game based purely upon what it's trying to achieve, then very few do survival horror, classic survival horror, as good as this game does. And it's as close to perfect, in my opinion, although I'm sure a lot of people probably agree with me on this one, as you can possibly get. On top of 2 separate playthroughs and multiple endings, there's a plethora of things you can do in this game if you enjoy getting kicked in the privates. Real survival is a mode where there is no auto aim and none of the item boxes are linked. Invisible enemy mode is... yes. Plus there's extra costumes and weapons to unlock, and God, this is a good fucking game. Have a great fucking day.